Hi everyone, I'm Chloe Becker and I'm an intern at the Ignatian Solidarity Network as well as an artist. So today for this Ash Wednesday, I'm going to lead us in a bullet journaling activity to center ourselves in prayer as we reflect and prepare ourselves for this Lenten season. If you've never done a bullet journal before, it's basically just combining art with journaling. If you don't consider yourself an artist, no worries, as the design we will be doing is pretty simple so that we can write within the design. All you will need is a pen or pencil and piece of paper, and possibly some colors if you'd like to make it colorful at the end. So thanks for joining us, and I hope that you enjoy.
So we are going to start by drawing the outline of your hand. I'm just going to trace mine in pencil to get the general shape and then go over it to smooth out the lines in pen. We're drawing a hand to reference the gospel reading from Matthew this Ash Wednesday, where Jesus reminds us that when we give alms, we shouldn't let our left hand know what the right is doing. And I think this reading relates to what we are going to focus on today as we commit to genuine learning and work for justice. Not in a performative way, but in a humble way of realizing that we all have much more work to do. We are focusing on this because this Lent, the Ignatian Solidarity Network is focusing on the theme of steadfast love, how we can persevere in our work for justice, making sure that it is always rooted in love. So for this journal, we're going to write down our goals to grow in our commitment to justice this Lent. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video now, as we're going to move on to writing within the palm of the hand you just drew. I'd invite you to reflect on specific goals you have to grow in your justice work. There aren't any right or wrong answers here. This is simply space for you to work through what aspects of justice you really want to focus on, either to learn more about or get better at practicing in your daily life. So I'm just going to list a few examples if you need help with ideas for what this may mean for you. But really, it should just be tailored to where you are at in your justice work and in your understanding of different justice issues. Here I have been writing to have more conversations about injustice with loved ones and people around me, to read more on a specific justice issue. Personally, I want to focus this Lent on learning more about ableism and the complexities of how different racial groups are hurt by racism. To read more books authored by people who have been marginalized and often silenced. This is inclusive, but not limited to, Black, Indigenous, Asian, Latinx authors, LGBTQ plus authors, authors who are migrants, authors who are disabled. And again, I'm just giving multiple examples to show the vast array of options that are available for you in case anything I suggest helps to spark an idea. It would be unrealistic to try and focus on all injustices at one time. So make sure you are explicit with which one or few justice issues you would like to center your Lent in, because the more specific your goals, the more realistic they will be to achieve. So now we're going to move on to the next part of our reflection. So again, pause the video now if you need more time. In the space in the fingers, we are going to write down the steps or sacrifices that you need to take in order to reach those goals that you just wrote down. So what we just journaled was a little bit more reflective, but this aspect is really meant to hold yourself accountable for that by hashing out the details of how you are logically going to be able to reach those goals. So again, this is very individualistic, as you know what will work best for you to stay committed to these. But I'm just going to list some examples here in case any of these help get you started. So I am writing to use an hour less of screen time every day, to have more time to read or commit time to learning and action, to focus my daily morning prayer on justice, to set each day up for success on my goals, to choose a day of the week to bring up a justice issue to discuss at dinner, to attain books, sign up for email campaigns, get podcasts ready, etc., that are needed for my learning. Really, any practical details to get ready. And finally, to decide on a time each week to check in with how I'm doing, to make sure I stay on track throughout the entirety of Lent. Lastly, you can use the empty space on your page to continue reflecting, or as I'm doing, you can add in some design around the page, which can also be helpful in furthering your reflection. I hope that this will be an effective start to your Lenten journey this Ash Wednesday. As no matter what you're sacrificing this Lent, I think it's important to remind ourselves to focus on others and justice throughout this period too. Because Lent, along with being a time of sacrifice, is truly about making genuine changes in our habits to carry throughout the rest of the year. It's a period of transformation. So hopefully, taking the time to really work through the next steps you can take in your evolving justice work will help you form these long-term habits. So definitely feel free to check in and do this video any time of the year that you feel like you need to push yourself more in regards to justice work. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope that you can further participate throughout Lent and the Ignatian Solidarity Network's focus on our theme of Steadfast, a Call to Love.